and everyone. My name is Dr. Nandita Goyal. I am working in Department of Information Technology at AKG-EC. So today I'll be covering the topic function point analysis, which is a topic from software engineering. Now, talking about function point matrix or function point analysis, what exactly it is? Like we are given a piece of code, so we want to find out that how much efficient my piece of code is. So this is one of the metrics that can help me analyze the effectiveness or the goodness of my code. So we have been studying other various metrics to find out the complexity of our code, like lines of code. But there were certain disadvantages when we were talking about lines of code. One of the most important limitation which is there, that just looking at the number of lines in my code, I cannot say that my code is good, efficient or not. So in order to overcome this limitation, we came across this particular topic, which is function point matrix. So function point matrix was actually proposed by Elbert in 1983. And this is its main aim was to overcome the shortcomings of LOC, that is lines of code matrix. So after its inception, this function point matrix method gained a lot of popularity among the people who were working across the efficiency of different codes. One of the most important advantages of this particular method over the existing methods or LOC is that here the complexity can be easily computed from the number of computations or from the problem specification itself. So the concept behind function point matrix is that the software product is directly dependent on the number of high level functions or features it is supporting or it is using. So by looking at and by analyzing the number of different high level functions, we can find out that how much complex my software code is. So efforts are being used to develop this function point matrix by counting actually the different types of functional units in my code, which includes the number of inputs that are being given to my code by the user, the number of outputs which my code is giving to the user, then the number of files which the user is trying to access using those functions, and then the number of inquiries that the user is making by using this particular code. And also we will be trying to analyze what are the external files that my code is using. External files are those files which are not in my code, but they are being accessed by my code, and these are located outside the code. So by looking at these 5 basic high level functions, we will try to analyze that how much complex is my code using function point matrix. So here we have, as we have already discussed, that we will be trying to compare the number of high level functions which are being supported by my systems and then trying to analyze that how much complex is my code. So basically here Elbert postulated that in addition to the basic functions which a software has, the major complexity of the software depends upon the number of high level functions which it is having, that is the number of inputs, the number of outputs, then the number of files being used, the number of interfaces used by the software, and the number of inquiries made by the user and which are associated with the software. So now these are the functional units in which this entire system is being decomposed using the Elbert's function point analysis. So what are these 5 functional units? As we have already been discussing, let's go into some details of these units. First is the input. What is my input? The information which is being entered to the system by the user. Then the next unit which we will be focusing on while using FPA is the outputs, that is the number of outputs, or we can say that the information which is leaving the system. Then there is a third unit which is inquiries. Now what is this inquiry? The requests which are being made by the user for some access to the information. So that is my inquiry. So we will be even focusing on the number of inquiries which the user is making using the system. Then we have something known as internal logical files. This is again one of the high level functions. So now what are these internal logical files? the files which are being held within my system or information which is being held within my system, and whenever the user is making any inquiry, I need to access that information from my system itself. So that comes under the category of internal logical files. Now talking about the external interface files, it happens when I am accessing some code. So there are certain files which I need to access, but those files are not located in my software itself. These are external to my software, but these will be accessed by my software. So these files will come under external interface files. So these are the 5 major functional units which we will be considering in FPA for analyzing the complexity of my code. Now all these 5 units have been shown using this diagram, that as we have already discussed that we have 5 major functional units. So now what are these? We have tried to describe these using this diagram. So this is my user and this is the entire system which he is being using, the central one. So now the user gives some information to the system. This is my input, the information which user is giving. This is my first type of functional unit as per the FPA method. Now next is the output, that is the information which is leaving the system, that is my output. So this is my second type of functional unit as per FPA. Now inquiries, the user is requesting for some information access. So this is my third unit, that is inquiries. Then whenever an inquiry is made, there will be 2 things, that is the information will be accessed from within the system, that is the internal logical file. So this is my fourth unit, and it may happen that some of the information which is not within my system, that has to be accessed from outside, that is from some other application. So that is my external interface file, and this is my 5th functional unit. So whenever we talk about the function point analysis, we basically concentrate on these 5 functional units to check the complexity of my code. So till now we have tried to understand that what are the different functional units as per the FPA, and now in the further slides we will see that using all these 5 functional units, how do we calculate the complexity of my code. Now these 5 units have been actually divided into 2 categories as per the FPA. These 2 categories include, the first category is known as data function types. So the data function types contain two functional units, that is the internal logical files, that is these are the files which are located within my system. These are basically maintained within my systems, and these are accessed from my system itself. And the second data function type includes the external interface files. These are actually outside my system. These are not maintained within my system, but these are maintained within some other system, and these are accessed through the through my system as external interface files. So these are the 2 data function types which are there. So actually what we have done here, we have divided the 5 major functional units which we had already discussed into 2 categories. So this is the first category, that is the data function types. Now second category is transactional function type. So the transaction functional type includes input, external input, that is the information which is being given to my system. Then the next one is external output, that is the information which is leaving my system and going to the user. And then external inquiry, that is the information, that is the request made by the user to get access to some information. So these 3 units, that is the input, output and inquiry, have been placed in the next category, that is transactional function types. So we have 2 function types, data function types and transactional function types, and we have divided the 5 functional units into these 2 categories. Now coming to the next slide, actually here, in order to make the calculation regarding function point, what we do in this method, we calculate a matrix known as FP or function point. So in order to compute this particular matrix, that is function point for my software code, I first of all have to compute something known as UFP. This is unadjusted function point, and Albert gave a fixed matrix for this calculation, that is unadjusted function point. So what does this table or matrix shows? As we have already discussed, then whenever we talk about FPA, we have 5 functional units, that is input, output, inquiry, number of external files and number of internal files. So number of files means internal files and number of interfaces means external interface files which are external to my system. So these are basically my 5 functional units which we had already been discussing. Now in this particular table, what is given, this is a standard table which is to be used whenever we are making use of this particular matrix. This was given by Albert himself, that he said that whenever we are talking about the first type of file, first type of functional unit, that is input. If my input is simple, I'll give it a weight 3. If my input is average, I'll give it a weight 4. And if my input is complex, I will assign it a weight 6. Same way for output. If the output is simple, 4, average 5 and complex 7. Same way for the next functional unit, that is inquiry. If my inquiry is simple, then 3. If it is an average inquiry, then 4. If it is a complex inquiry, then 6. Internal files. If the internal file is a simple one, then it will be assigned a weight 7. If it is average, it will be assigned a weight 10. And if it is complex, it will be assigned a weight 15. External interfaces, if it is a simple one, we'll assign it a weight 5. If it is average, we'll assign it a weight 7, and for complex, we'll assign 10. Now, we have to see that how many functional unit of each type we have, then we'll multiply the number with the weights as per their complexity. So, the weighing factors identified for all the functional units are shown in this table, and these are being multiplied with the number of functional units accordingly. Now, we will see how to do that. Now, this is the standard formula for computing UFP, that is unadjusted function point. It says that you have to multiply the number of particular type of functional units with the weight as per their complexity. So, this is the formula that UFP can be calculated by having the number of functional units of each types multiplied by their weights. Whenever we have, by using this formula, once we complete the calculation for UFP, now our major aim was to go up to function point. So once we get this UFP, we need to have something known as CF, that is complexity adjustment factor, so that we can finally compute FP, that is the function point. So when we talk about complexity adjustment factor, my complexity adjustment factor is equal to 0.65 plus 0.01 into Fi. We'll be looking into what this Fi means, but why we are doing all this? Because my Fp is nothing but whatever the value of UFP I have calculated multiplied by CF, that is the complexity adjustment factor. So whenever you need to compute this FP, you must first calculate this UFP and CF. Then only you can reach up to the FP point. So we have already come to know that how to calculate UFP, that is the unadjusted function point. Now we are going how to calculate the CF, so that finally we can come to FP. So whenever we are talking about CF, we have to apply this formula. The only thing which is unknown here, all these are constant, but this Fi is going to be variable depending upon the information we are given about our code. So this Fi value can range from 1 to 14. That is the number of factors on which my total software can be dependent, or the degree of influence which is based on the responses to the questions noted. So these are my 14 standard questions, and depending upon these questions, I can decide my Fi. So the value of my Fi can maximum be 14. I can have total 14 factors if all of them are considered, and then depending upon the scale, that the value of each factor is how much. It can be uninfluential, it can be incidental, it can be moderate, it can be average, it can be significant, it can be essential. So depending upon the severity of all these factors in my particular application, I have to consider the values given on the scale. So now we'll come to this part, how to do all these things. Like we have already seen that I have to first of all calculate my unadjusted function point, then I have to calculate my CAF, which has a standard formula, then I have to calculate my FP, which is nothing but UFP multiplied by CAF. So let's see how to do it and apply it in a particular question. So now this is an example which is given. Let's consider a project with the following functional units. I have total user inputs 50. I have total user outputs as 40. Then the number of user inquiries is given as 35. Number of internal files is 6 and the number of external interfaces is 4. Now they have already given me, assume all the complexity adjustment factors. That means, and weighing factors are average. That is, for all these inputs, outputs, all my functional units from that particular table which we had already discussed, we will be considering the average part. And even what we have to consider, we have to consider all the complexity adjustment factors. That means all the 14 FIs I have to consider, and I have to consider them on the scale that is average. So let's see how to compute it. So now for convenience, I have put this table over here, which we had already discussed, that this is a standard table. So now I am computing my UFP. So first of all, I'll see that how many inputs files I have. I have a total, as per the question, 50 input files. Then how many output files I have? I have 40 output files. I have 35 inquiries. I have 6 internal files. And I have 4 external interfaces. Now this is the number of the functional units. Since I am going to consider it as average, I'll be considering this column for each of the things. So first, in order to compute my UFP, I'll multiply 50 with 4 for inputs. Then I'll multiply this 40 with 5 for my outputs. Then I'll multiply this 35 with 4 for inquiries. Then I'll multiply this 6 with 10 for internal files, and then this 4 with 7 for external interfaces. So once I have done this, I'll make the calculations and I get the answer as 628. So this 628 is my UFP, unadjusted function point, which I have calculated. Now I have to calculate CF. So for CF, this was my standard formula, 0.65 into plus 0.01 into Fi. Now since in the question it is given to me that you have to consider all the factors, so I'll be considering all the 14 factors, and that too on an average scale. So if you look at the scale rating, which is a standard scale rating, for average the value was 3. So I have multiplied all the 14 factors into 3. So I get this value for my Fi. I substitute it here, and when I make the calculations, I get the CAF as 1.07. Once I have done this, my final aim was to calculate the function point, which is nothing but UFP into CAF. So UFP I have got here 628 into 1.07. So I get the answer as 672. So this is how we apply this in my questions. Now let's take one more example to make this concept more clearer. So now the application has the following. It has 10 low external inputs. Now in the previous question, everything was given to me as average. So I took the entire central column. But now the values for input is different, that is low. For output it is high. For internal logical files it is low. For external interfaces it is high. And external inquiries it is average. So I'll have to substitute the values accordingly from my table. The number of each of the units is given to me. So I have to multiply this 10 for my low inputs, 12 for high outputs, 20 for low internal logical files, 50 with high external interfaces, and 12 with average external inquiries. And they have already given me the value of CAF as 1.10. So I don't need to calculate CAF. I have to directly calculate UFP and then FP as UFP into CAF, which is already given to me as 1.10. So this I'll do. So what we have done now, I have just applied the value. Number of units was given to me. For low inputs, I have taken the value as 3. For high outputs, I have taken the value as 7. Then it was number of logical files, that is it was again simple or low, so 20 into 7, and same way I have applied to other functional units. So I have calculated my UFP as 452. 452 is my UFP. CF was already given to me in the question, that is 1.10. I have just multiplied them and I have got the answer as 497.2. So this is my final answer, that is my FP. So this is how we have to apply this concept. Thank you.